Hey, I want to talk today about your body and my body and the way that interacts with our relationships. And I believe that the things that happen in my body have got a lot to do with um, difficulties um, and conflicts and just problems that can arise in my relationship. And my hope with sharing this and just talking about it is um, that you can get to see that what does happen in your body is actually really important, and um, it it really needs to be acknowledged to have a good relationship. That's my belief anyway, and I've developed that belief because I guess I've seen the truth of it so many times. It I've seen the way that conflict and problems ultimately go back to some kind of feeling that has happened in me or in my partner that hasn't really been addressed very well. So, yeah, I'm hoping to invite new awareness around this and um, maybe give you a sense that, it might not be about what I thought it was about. Um, so, what do I mean by that anyway? What does body awareness mean, and how does that interact with relationships? Well, my experience is that um, there can be many times throughout a day when I'm having an interaction with my partner, and my body will have a response to it. It might have a response to what she says or something that she does, and many times that feels positive and expansive. But there's also times when it doesn't. There's some kind of contraction that happens in my body. And what I've noticed is that if I don't pay attention to those contractions in the moment, then they fester and um, they will sit there and um, get worse and worse and worse until eventually they'll come out in some other way, or eventually I'll talk about them. I think there's a couple of components to this. One of them is firstly being aware that the contraction happened in the first place. Some of these things can be so quick, just split second. I get a micro hit, a little ouch, or something happens inside me, and if it's really fleeting and fast, and I don't catch it with my awareness, it may just sit there and go unnoticed until some later point in time when maybe life is a bit more quiet, or maybe I wake up in the middle of the night and I feel it then. So I think there's an aspect of this of self-awareness, and it's about becoming more sensitive to when those little micro contractions happen, and being able to catch them before they start to grow into something bigger. So yeah, I think that's a key piece. And when I am able to notice what did just happen in me, I I can then decide what to do with it. But until that moment that I've noticed it, I don't have a choice. And so the best course of action might be to talk about it with my partner. I might say, hey, when you did that thing, this is what happened for me. And maybe there's a request with that. Maybe next time you could do something a little bit differently, or this is what would help me feel more seen or cared for, or whatever it is. Um, so that's one option, but it also might be a case of processing it by myself. Maybe I need to go and write something down, journal about it. Maybe I need to go for a walk and just let the feelings come up and be seen so that I can actually understand them a bit better. And then that will give me more clarity about who I am as a person. One thing that I don't believe works is to sweep it under the carpet and pretend it didn't happen. I've learned over the years that the responses that my body have are important and non-negotiable. If I pretend that they're not there or disengage with them in some way, it will come back to bite me at a later stage. I will either continue to harbor some kind of negative feeling. Maybe it's towards another person or towards myself. Maybe I'll get angry about something unrelated and it doesn't make sense. Maybe I'll make up stories about myself and kind of just messes things up in my life in some way. So all of that to say is that bringing those little micro sensations that happen in my body up to either be spoken about or acknowledged or addressed is crucial. And it's actually a real gift as well, because that's instant feedback about how life is going. And both me and my partner can use that to our advantage to take our connection deeper and further. And when I bring it in a caring way, and I'm not blaming the other person for the feelings that are happening in my body, then it can become a real source of fuel for deepening our relationship. I actually believe it's crucial, and it's actually about seeing each other very deeply. So we have a culture in our relationship, a little microculture of it's normalized to talk about what's happening, and they're often vulnerable things, and that's great. It strengthens our connection. So yeah, I invite you to check in with yourself and notice your own micro sensations, or maybe macro. Maybe they're quite big sometimes. Little ouches or contractions, or moments when you felt annoyed, or there's just some sort of disruption or disharmony. And I invite you to notice what you did with that. Did you hide it, suppress it, pretend it didn't happen, justify it away, gaslight yourself? There's lots of ways that they can be suppressed. Or did you find some way to express it healthily? Or did you find a way to express it unhealthily? Did you turn it into blame or attack? My question and inquiry is, and my offering is, could you find a way to think of those reactions that happen in your body as a gift for yourself and for your relationship? Can you use them as fuel to develop deeper connection, more intimacy, more being able to see each other deeply? Could you create a culture with yourself and with your partner where it's normal to talk about what's happening inside of yourself. I'd love to hear your experiences with this, whether it's positive or negative or anything in between. Love to hear it. So please share in the comments. Bye-bye.